The alarm goes off, and before you even open your eyes, you already know how this morning ends. You reach for your phone, not because you need to, because it is the first thing your hand has learned to do. 5 minutes, you tell yourself. Just 5 minutes. An hour later, you are still in bed. The morning is already half gone, and that quiet, heavy feeling has already settled in your chest. Not guilt exactly, something softer than that. Something you have learned to live with. You get up slow. You move through the kitchen without really being there. Coffee, maybe. A scroll through something that does not matter. And before the day has even properly started, it already has a tone. Foggy, reactive, like you are catching up to something you were never quite ahead of. You've been here before, hundreds of times, the same morning wearing a different date. And you keep thinking that one day you will fix this. One day you will be the kind of person who wakes up with purpose, who moves with intention, who starts the day like they mean it. But that day keeps getting pushed back. Tomorrow, after the weekend, when things settle down, and the mornings keep passing, each one quiet, each one slightly wasted, each one a small vote for a version of yourself you do not actually want to be. You're not lazy. Do not believe that. Lazy people do not feel the weight of their own mornings. Lazy people do not lie there wishing things were different. You feel it, which means something in you already knows what is possible. The problem is not your willpower. The problem is not your schedule. The problem is not even your phone. The problem is that no one ever told you what a morning actually is. And here's the truth. Your morning is not just the first hour of your day. It is a declaration. It is the first conversation you have with yourself before the world gets to speak. And right now, that conversation starts with surrender, with delay, with "I'll do it properly tomorrow." And your mind hears that. Every single morning, it hears that, and it adjusts its picture of who you are. This is where everything changes. Because the morning routine that builds an unstoppable mindset is not about waking up at 5. It's not about cold showers or journaling or a perfect sequence of habits. It's about one thing. Who do you decide to be before the noise begins? When you wake up and you do not reach for the phone, you are making a statement. When you sit in silence for even 2 minutes before the world rushes in, you are making a statement. When you move your body before you consume anything, you are making a statement. That statement is simple. I am in control of this day. Not my notifications, not my feed, not my old habits, me. And that feeling, that quiet sense of ownership over your own morning, does something to you. It carries. It changes how you sit at your desk. It changes how you speak to people. It changes the decisions you make at 2 in the afternoon when no one is watching and temptation is loudest. Because you already won something small that morning. You already proved something to yourself. And the mind does not forget that. The unstoppable mindset is not built in a single moment of inspiration. It is built in the first 10 minutes of the day, repeated quietly, over and over, until it becomes who you are. Not who you're trying to be, who you are. That shift is everything. You do not need a perfect routine. You do not need a new alarm or a new app or a new plan. You need one morning where you choose yourself before you choose the scroll. One morning where you sit in the silence and let it remind you what you are actually capable of. One morning that feels different, and then another, until the morning you used to dread becomes the part of the day you protect most. But that starts with a decision. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not when you finally feel ready. This morning. So before you put this down and return to what you were doing, ask yourself something honest. What would change if you owned just the first 10 minutes of tomorrow? And then ask yourself why you keep choosing not to find out.